Hello, livestock friends, and welcome to this edition of Before the Bid. This is a podcast dedicated to the livestock sales industry where we go behind the scenes of the operation and speak straight to the sellers. We discuss topics about the important aspects of their operation, location, the people behind the prep work, and talk about some of the animals that will be offered to you, the prospective buyers. Hopefully, you've got your sale catalog close by. You might have to go look through that pile on your desk. But if not, then you're probably like me and driving down the road or busy with chores around the farm. And that's okay too. Wherever you are and whatever you're doing, I hope you enjoy this segment of Before the Bid. I'm your host, Andy Howell. Welcome, livestock friends, to this edition of Before the Bid podcast, and I am excited about this podcast. We have a new for Before the Bid, and we have three guys on the other end of the line here, and we have had a couple where we have two guys on there, but this time we do have three other guys on there. We are going out to Oklahoma for the Revolution phone bid-off sale. Three guys that I look up to here in the cattle business, and three guys that I'm honored to have here on the podcast. And again, we're going to talk about the Revolution phone bid-off sale out in Stillwater, Oklahoma. And on the phone with me, I have Neal Thompson, I have Jared Bain, and also Kent McCune on the phone. So I want to welcome you guys to the podcast here.
Good to be with you. It's great to be on.
All right, well, I appreciate that, guys. And, guys, through this sale, we're going to talk here a little bit later about some of the champions that they've had. And out of this set of consigners in this sale, there have been 5 national champions this year out of this set. So just excited about what these guys have put together and the sale that they're about to have. And so we wanted to get on here and talk to you guys about that a little and tell you about the cattle that are in here and try to lead you and get you to this sale and get you some information about this sale. We're going to let Neal start out here, going to tell you a little bit about himself, and then we're going to go to Jared and Kent, and then we're going to go down through some of the consigners that are going to be in this sale. So Neal Thompson, out in Stillwater, Oklahoma. Met you at Oklahoma City, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't that right? So worked with a guy that we bought heifers off of, and man, this guy is just, once you meet Neal, you just can't not like this guy. I got a daughter that's ready to move out there, Neal, to work with you. And
well, we'd love to have her.
Well, Neal, why don't you tell us a little bit about you? Tell us a little bit about your operation.
Well, we've been at this quite a while. Leslie and I own Thompson Livestock. In recent years, we've added a partner to Thompson Livestock. So we're actually two entities here, be Thompson Livestock and Thompson Griffith Show Cattle that we started a partnership with a few years ago. The Griffith family down in Shawnee, very, very dear friends of mine and Leslie's, and they're like family to us. And we've just had an exciting run over the last several years. And then the two other guys on the phone with us today are absolute family to us. They're just very dear friends. I respect their opinion. That's why they're here. I'm not near as smart as I think I am, but I am smart enough to get smart guys in here. And these guys are two of them. And there is a long list of people that are consulting for us on this. We're just very excited to put this deal on, and the guest consigners that we've got that are bringing cattle to us, also very dear friends of ours, and we've just put an amazing set of cattle, a diverse set of cattle. You know, we've got several different breeds represented, so everybody's not beating up on each other. And it's just a real exciting set and an exciting group of people to be doing this with.
Right. Neal, how long you been in the cattle business?
All my life. We raised cattle when I was a kid, and I was always real competitive, you know, and I always hated, and I still do. I don't hate the people. I just hate to see other people celebrating, and it's not me. So it's been a drive of mine for a long time, and we're just thankful and blessed to be in the cattle business, and just blessed with the people that we deal with every day.
So you're saying you'd rather get refreshments out of your feed pans than their feed pans, huh?
You dang right. I'll buy the beer. Absolutely.
Well, that sounds like a pretty good plan and a pretty good idea. But yeah, might cost you a little more, but it still tastes as good, doesn't it? Probably even a little better.
That's okay. Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Well, let's go down Jared Bain. Jared, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself here?
Well, I'm residing there at Dobson Ranch, and he's one of the consigners that we've got here. And mainly, I used to teach high school agriculture, and then I got lucky to be offered a job from Kurt Steerwalt, and I went out there while Kai was going to school. And ever since then, I just never really fell back into anything but cattle. So I've been doing that since about 2009. And been lucky. Just Jim and Neal were old roommates, and he brought me in, and been lucky to learn from him, and got to meet a lot of different people across the nation, and work with them, from Horsemen's to McCoy's out there in Oregon, and just a plethora of people. And then so basically what I'm doing now is just consulting and going around and helping those producers, and then working with a lot of youth and these projects that we're selling, and getting to evaluate some shows here and there. And it's kind of a dream come true, really, for a guy like me.
Right.
Just grew up raising some Key Angus cattle from Grandpa.
Okay. Jared, I don't know if we've met a couple times and worked together, and man, I've learned so much from this guy about putting cattle together and what to do with them, and in a very short time. And Jared, I don't know if you knew, but I teach high school agriculture right now. So
I did not know that. I get calls that come back all the time, and I get to do all that stuff with the kids,
right.
And that's what I really enjoy. So without having to deal with administration, so I think it's a wonderful deal.
Yeah, that sounds like a great deal to me right now. So again, Jared Bain, Jared, we worked together there at Oklahoma a little bit, and I learned a lot, and worked at Beef Congress together out here in Indiana. And man, guys, Jared can flat put one together. So I just admire the work that he does, and he can see some things and tell you about some things. So appreciate that, Jared. Also, a guy that is no stranger to the marketing and consulting, Kent McCune. He is with McCune Marketing now. And so, Kent, why don't you introduce yourself just a little here for those that may be living under a rock here the last few years?
Yeah, I'm Kent McCune. I live down at Perkins, Oklahoma now. I've been here about 3 years, so I'm pretty close here to Neal. We're neighbors now, so I get to see him a little bit more than I used to. So that's been good. But I've been into cattle marketing basically ever since getting out of Kansas State in '84, and through my own cattle, and then lately, last probably 20 years, marketing other people's cattle throughout North America, Canada, United States, and Mexico. So I've been around the country a little bit, and mostly Angus and Red Angus, but I got involved in some other breeds too. But that's been my two primary breeds I've dealt with the last 15 years, I guess.
Okay.
So I've had my own company, and I've worked for other organizations or other cattle seed stock operations. But I'm back freelancing again myself, and it's quite an honor and to work with Neal on this sale, and looked at the cattle this morning, and pretty excited about this upcoming sale.
Right. And you've helped Neal on the spring sale, correct?
Yeah, helped him a little bit on the spring sale, and he had a real successful event. And I think he's probably deeper and stouter in this group that he's got coming up here in a few weeks.
Okay. Yeah, I've been hearing a lot about those, and I know Neal's sure excited. So we look forward to your input here a little bit later on these cattle. So
You bet.
there's 28 live lots in this sale, the Revolution. They're going to do a phone bid off. And, Neal, you pulled a couple people together here for this sale, and you didn't just go find cattle. You found some really, really good operations to bring these cattle in. And so if you would, tell us about who else is in this sale, and give us just a little bit of insight on their operations.
Well, so there's, of course, us and the Griffiths, Thompson Livestock, and then Thompson Griffith Cattle Company, which would represent a lot of the reds and the percentages, and then some of the bulls. In addition to that, we've got our friends from up north, like Jared was saying, my old roommate, Jim Dobson up at Dobson Ranch. If you're not familiar with the Gelby breed, their member number is 1.
Oh, wow.
Member number 1. They've been very successful. They've had numerous national champs. Added another one to their list this summer. Everybody knows them in that breed. They're great people, big ranchers up there. They've been doing it all their lives. Just big time good people. Then we've got Turkey Creek Ranch, friends of mine, Dustin and Levi Sasser. Bulk of their cow herd is down in Texas. Levi's up here in Edmond, Oklahoma. These guys put together just a tremendous set of cows, the good ones from all over. They've gotten some from us. They've got some from Hudson Pines. They've gotten cattle from Circle M, Red River. They've produced a bunch of their own. They've just got a tremendous set of Simmental cattle. Hartman Cattle Company, my gosh, they need no introduction. I'm humbled just to be able to speak their name in this deal, but their bull sales are absolutely second to none. Their cattle, Kent will probably touch on it later. We went through their cattle here 2 or 3 times in the last few months, and it's just phenomenal. We're very proud for them to be a part of this. We've got some semis in the sale from them. Erickson family from here in Oklahoma, they've got a real nice heifer that they put in this deal, a purebred Red Angus, just a really nice heifer, great family, hard-working family, just proud to have them be a part of it. And then Cummins Cattle Company from Arkansas, he's got a Limplex heifer in this deal. They've been at that deal for a long time. They would have just got through successfully campaigning the Reserve Show Bull of the Year in the Lemmy deal. So, it's just a great group of people, great cattle. We didn't just throw everything that we had at this deal. We're very selective. If they weren't good enough or they weren't ready, they're not in it. Mm-hmm. These cattle they're good, they're ready. It's a tremendous set. I'm very excited about this set of cattle.
Right. And that'll kind of lead us in. You're coming off a very, very hot summer, not just temperature-wise, but in the show ring. Out of this group, these guys have had 5 national champions this summer. So if you would, why don't you tell us a little about those and kind of tell us which ones those were?
Okay, I guess we'll just start with the Red Angus Junior Nationals. The national champion percentage female would have been raised by Thompson and Griffith show cattle. Junior Nationals was there in Lebanon, Tennessee, and so Thompson Griffith would have raised the champion percentage female. Hartman Cattle Company would have raised the national champion purebred female, and then Halpane and us sold Hartman, the reserve Raiders Futurity female at Red Angus Junior Nationals. And then I guess we move on to the Gelby Junior Nationals. Well, Dobson Ranch would have raised the national champion balancer female this summer at their Junior Nationals. And then Hartman would have sold the reserve national champion Limplex female at Limousine Junior Nationals. So it's been a pretty hot summer for this group of buddies putting a set of cattle together for people to consider.
Right. You guys got warmed up back there in the spring or winter there at Cattlemen's Congress.
Absolutely. I guess at the apex of it would have been a reserve national champion female shown by Morley Griffith that would have come through one of our sales here last year. And then Hartman, there's 2 daughters out of the Remedy Bull that Hartman would have won the national show there in Oklahoma City, and there's a couple of daughters in here out of him. The first ones that I know of that have sold, and they're flat good, and they're littermate brothers, Kent and I and Jared, went through up at Hartman's here a month or so ago, and I've never seen anything like it in my life. It was incredible. And then Dobson and Jared would have had, well, you won Oklahoma City, didn't you, Jared?
Yeah, we had the champion balancer bull there at Congress.
Yeah, so there's 3 more national champs right there.
Right. So, wow, what a line of success, and we could go back a few years and talk about a few more, and we will when we get into these donors, but these guys just really hammering on this thing and doing quite well, and here they've got another group of cattle here that they want to offer you guys, and so, when you got success like that, they got to bring the heat when these sales, and sure excited to hear about these, and sure excited to see some of the videos and things about these cattle. So, you guys don't just make them show cattle. You guys have turned some into donors, and they've done quite well at doing that, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We're in this for the long haul. This is what we do for a living, so we can't just count on a few fluffy show heifers or whatever. I mean, these things have got to make. I'm sitting here in my pickup looking out at a group of cows walking up here to the pickup right now. It's in the end, the bottom line, it's all about these cows out here in the pasture that make us a living and stuff. It's fun selling these fur balls and going out and winning things, but then it's a whole other thing to bring them home and make a woman out of them and raise something out of them.
Right. Why don't you tell us about a few of the donors you got running around there?
You know, the two that have the most significant for us right now because of the sale are Barcelona. We call her Mimi. Her mother's name is Mimi, but she would have 3 daughters in the sale. She was a national champion, actually a 2-time national champion for us back when the junior show was kind of held in conjunction with the National Open show. But she would have been national champion. And we've got 3 daughters in the sale out of her. And then for this sale, the other most significant donor would be Jackie, a Charolais cow that we've implemented into our Red Angus program by flushing her to Red Angus bulls. And she'd be the mother to the national champion percentage female. And she would have a daughter and a son in this sale.
You know, I never put that together because I'd seen the pictures of this national champion Red Angus female, and I thought, why is she so light colored? And now it absolutely makes sense.
Yeah.
Came out of a Charolais, right?
Yes, sir.
Now the guy catches up. So, I always wondered why is she so light colored, and now it makes perfect sense. She came out of a Charolais, so that's a great summer there, and just you guys just really getting it going on there and having a lot of success out of these donors. And you're not just holding these back. You're going to offer some calves out of these donors to everybody in this the Revolution sale.
Yes, yeah, we didn't hold anything back. All of our best are in this sale.
All right. Tell us a little about this sale, because it's not an online sale. It's not going to be a live sale. You guys have done this a couple times in the past. It's going to be a phone bid-off sale, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. The plan is, so chronologically, we're getting everything cleaned up this week. Our intentions are to take pictures on the 17th and 18th, which I believe is this Friday and Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
And then we plan on opening the bidding September the 24th, and we will start trying to end it. You can't just slam it shut, but we're planning on starting to end it on October the 4th.
Okay.
Sometimes it takes a day or two some people tend to go at each other on bidding on those things for a little bit longer, but the plan is to begin the end on October the 4th.
Okay.
And it'll all be by phone. We'll have a digital catalog that'll come out just as soon after pictures and videos as Katie Tunstall can get it out. It'll be digital. All of us consigners and consultants will be posting it all over Facebook. It's real simple to go through it. Katie does just a fantastic job. It's real accessible, real easy to look through, and we'll have that up for people to look at before this thing starts on September 24th.
Right. Yeah, you showed me Katie's work from last year, and, man, that's neat. You just flip right through it and all digitized right there. Is there a website or anything that'll be on, or is it just basically going to be on you guys' social media?
It'll be on the social media.
Okay.
I attempted to get a website going a few years ago, and you're only as good as the information that you'll sit down and put into it, so it just never did work out very good for me.
Okay.
I'm very technologically challenged. So.
I remember you trying to show me that video on your phone, and that was tough enough for you. So we might have been in the feed pans just a little bit before that, though. So
true.
Might have
True
enhanced the challenge, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, yeah, what a great catalog that is as she puts that through there, and then they can start calling you guys. Who all can they call, Neal, to put in bids?
Well, there's several of us. I can just go down through the list. There's, of course, Jared, Kent, myself, Matt Griffith, Robert Halpayne, Jim Dobson, Colby Cummins, Roger Erickson, Dustin Sasser, Levi Sasser.
Okay. And all those will be...
They'll all be listed in the catalog with phone numbers, and they're all great guys. You can call them, and Dalton Hartman, he'll be on there. Mike is very knowledgeable about the semis that they've got in here. So all these guys are there and ready to help. Very easy to talk to.
Okay. And all the cattle, if they want to come lay eyes on the cattle, all of those cattle are at your place at Stillwater, Oklahoma, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So they can come in there. When will you kind of welcome guys in there? After like the 17th and 18th?
Yeah. That way their pictures are done and they're all clipped and they're ready to look at. Just sitting here waiting on the sale to start.
Okay.
So I'd say from this coming weekend, which would be the 18th and 19th, anytime from the 19th on. And we're not going to turn anybody away before then, but that's the best time to look at them would be starting on the 19th.
Okay. Okay. Now, say, and this is just a question for some people, say I'm bidding on lot 1, and lot 1 gets too high for me because that's usually what happens to me, and I want to come down and bid on lot 2 or lot 3 or whatever. Is that an option as we're going through
absolutely.
this? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, once you've bid, you can navigate through any of them.
Okay.
We just want to discourage people from jumping in on the 5th, when they haven't been involved. It's not fair to the people who've been working hard trying to get those things bought up to then. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yep. And I had to ask that question because I'm one of those guys that usually has to go find his second or third or fourth best. So
Me too.
I just wanted to make sure that was open for everybody else. So because I know that's the way it goes around here. So okay, well I think we've got all of that taken care of. Unless there's any more information on that you want to share with us.
I gotta just say, Neal's place is handy to get to, just south of Stillwater. What, 4 miles, Neal, or?
Yeah, the show barn is almost exactly halfway between Stillwater and Perkins, right on Highway 177 on the west side.
Okay, so real easy to get to.
4.3 miles south of Stillwater and 4.7 miles or whatever north of Perkins.
Okay, well that sounds great. Yeah, so feel free to come look at those cattle, and once these guys tell you what they are and you see some pictures and video of these cattle, why you're going to want to go see them and lay some eyes on them. So, guys, let's go down and talk through these cattle, and Neal's going to give you an initial here, and then we're going to have some input from Jared and from Kent, and we'll get some information about these cattle. So let's just start in. We got a purebred female here in lot 1 out of the Eskimo Joe.
Yeah, the cow, this would have come from, that we would have bought from the Erickson family. That's a consignor in this sale. Eskimo Joe would be a bull that we bought from Ladone's up in North Dakota. He's one of our senior herd sires here. Does a great job for us. It's a real fancy young heifer. These heifers are allotted from youngest to oldest in their respective breed groups. So like lot 1 through 10 are all purebred red Angus. So they're listed from youngest to oldest. That's a real nice heifer. Lot 2 is an Okie Power, which this Okie bull, Kent would have some input on this bull, and we'll talk about him some more later. We're going to sell some semen. But Kent found this bull's mother up in Canada, and then we I guess Kent did most of the work there, but our friend Hal Payne, that is a very big contributor to this sale and to our success in the Red Angus deal. He bought this heifer from Blair's, bred her to one of his bulls that he raised, and got this Okie. And I mean, this guy has just been killing it for us. We've only got one in the sale out of him. He mostly got to work out on the fall cabin herd out there at Halpane's, but man, these things are unreal. They're, typically body and mass and everything just doesn't really go with a real freaky front end, but I mean, this guy just stamps her front ends. They're big-legged, they're stout, they're sound, big-bellied. They're just really good. This lot 2, she's real young, real green, but that's just a tremendous Okie daughter, the only one we got in the sale.
Mm-hmm.
I'll jump in here a little bit.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes,
Jared.
sir.
He is the sire of the top-selling heifer in the spring sale. Is that right, Neal?
Yes, sir. She'd have been reserved at the fraternity show this summer at Junior Nationals.
I saw her up there a couple of weeks ago, and she'll be one to beat this fall. I'll put that out there. Okay. So this will be a half sister to one of the heifers that's going to be hard to beat this year.
Jared, you got any input on the lot 1?
Oh, really? We've been clipping through those, and the structure on these things are amazing. It's hard to get that much muscle shape and carry that structure the way they are, and it makes my job really easy here. I mean, these things are just built tremendously.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, that one that was sold to high sale last year was the same way. And I know on these reds, the structure's so important because they are so massive, and these things carry it just as good as you can.
Mm-hmm. Kent, you went through these cattle this morning. You got anything on the lot one?
Yeah, both of these are young heifers, show a lot of promise and potential. I think just give them a little bit of time. I think they're going to be real competitive, both of these young May heifers.
Okay. All right. We'll talk that Okie here just a little bit later because we got a special offering on him as well. So go to the lot 3, Neal, if you would, the Mr. Right Kind.
Okay, that's a bull that I found for Chad Chester. I found him up at Chain Ranch here in Oklahoma, big time operation, and he was their high selling bull. We found him, sent him out to Arkansas. I was lucky enough to have him here for a while and breeding to some show heifers that were standing around the barn. And man, we got our best bull that's in this sale that we'll talk about later is out of him, and a couple of really nice heifers, and this would be no exception. His mother would have been champion at a few places. That's a nice heifer as well, out of a really nice one-of-a-kind son.
Mm-hmm. Jared, you got any input on her?
That thing's just, if you like them extremely good fronted, that thing will carry you a long way for sure. She's tremendous to her front 1/3.
Ken, any input?
I'll save my input for the next lot.
Okay. All right. Well, that's all right. Pass on that one. We'll go to lot 4. We're still in the talking purebred Red Angus here.
Yeah, lot 4 and lot 7 is going to get Kent pretty fired up. But
Yeah.
this lot 4, this out of Barcelona, like I said, our 2019 national champion female. Man, the 2 heifers, lot 4 and lot 7. This is why we try to make these things the way that we do. This is what we're trying to get. I mean, these things are just massive bodied, beautiful profile, beautiful neck, good chested, sound, big legged, big squishy footed, and just everything that we're trying to do. We accomplished that here with lot 4 and lot 7. There'll be red boxes out of Barcelona. Red Box is a bull that Kent had a lot to do with the success that he initially had, selling and then on as a producer. These things are special. There's lot 4 is April and lot 7 is March, but full sibs, just really, really, really good.
Mm-hmm. Kent, you want to skip over Jared there on this one?
Yeah, I'll take
Yeah, go ahead.
on these 2.
Yeah.
Both outstanding heifers, I'm telling you. Got a lot of future to them as show heifers, and I see a lot of future to them as future donor cows. And the breeding on both of these is just outstanding. Can't get any better. A red box out of a Triple Crown champion cow, one of the few in the breed. So.
Mm-hmm.
They have some red box look to them, but they really resemble their Dampian mother as well. And kind of heifers I like. They've got some show to them, but you can tell they're going to be producers down the road. Like Neal said, just the body, the stoutness, the power, plus the femininity and the brood cow look. These females are outstanding.
Great. Lot 5, we got a Colby sired.
Yeah, this is a really nice heifer. This is, initially when this thing came in, we're like, wow, power, just beautiful fronted, got a lot of body, just real attractive when you view her from the side, really sound moving. This one is probably a little more suited for someone a little bit more experienced showman. She's not bad or anything. She's a little high strung, kind of like Leslie. No, but that's a real good one. I'm just trying to be up front.
Right,
She's got a little higher speed index than some, but she's not bad. We get along with her just fine. We washed her, clipped her yesterday, and didn't have any issues whatsoever. But I just don't want some little 50-pound girl grabbing a hold of that when you get pushed around.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a real good one for somebody that's got some experience.
Right. Jared, what else on her?
Just on those Colbys, I mean, the substance of bone they have is just tremendous. That one, like Neal said, we can get her along with her just fine here in the barn, but she does have a little gas to her, but things made good. I mean, especially if you're one of those families that want a competitive one, this one, if you got the patience for, this one's pretty dang good. Like I said, we'd keep that one and show her. I mean, just because some of these aren't out of the donors doesn't mean that they're not going to be champions somewhere, because that's happened quite a few times.
Ken, any input on her?
You bet. She caught my eye when we were out in the pen. I mean, she's attractive and she's got the parts. I mean, she could be one that could be very, very competitive down the road, and she's got the look.
Good deal. Lot 6, Cujo.
Lot 6. This would go back to a Daymar bred cow. This is a Cujo, which would be a really good bull for Halpane down there. This is a nice heifer, sound as a cat, big goo belly, beautiful, nice shoulder, just a real nice comparative April heifer.
Any input, guys?
You get out there in the pen, and that one catches my eye every time. I mean, she moves. That's why when I'm sorting them, I like them on the move, and that one trips my trigger when she gets out and walks. I just like how sound that one is.
Kent?
Yeah, really nice balanced female. Really like her pedigree. Cujo's the sire of Okie Power that we talked about. And then that Bonnabelle cow family that was at Daymar is one of the best in the country. So big time genetics here with the good female.
Lot 8, talk about her real quick. This is a real outstanding heifer that the Erickson family from here in Oklahoma put in here. This is out of a really good cow that they bought off of Ladone's up in North Dakota. Just a real nice sound individual. Beautiful neck. This thing has really come a long way in the last couple of weeks. She's going to be one of the better heifers in the sale. 9 and 10 out of a couple old show heifers of ours. 9 is out of the Mr. Right Kind bull that we found out at Chain Ranch for Chad Chester. 10 out of a Bingo, and our selection out of Tree Lane's sale a couple years back.
Neal talked earlier about these percentage Red Angus females and really did quite well this summer with the percentage Red Angus females. So let's start in on those and with the lot 11.
Lot 11, the sire of this one, we call him Bruiser. We would have flushed Jackie, the mother of the percentage female this past summer. We flushed her to Original Monopoly and got this bull. We've been getting some pretty wolfy ones out of him. This one I let him clean up on Barcelona after we got through flushing her, and this is a calf out of her for that percentage Red Angus deal. And then we've got an Eskimo Joe heifer that I think is an absolute freak, and she would be out of a Key cow. And then probably the one I'm most excited about would be that lot 13, an Eskimo Joe, and she would be a granddaughter of Jackie. So that heifer is actually half Red Angus, quarter Angus, and a quarter Charolais. But I'll let you guys tell them what you think about those three. I think they're all very, very competitive.
Jared, go ahead.
The youngest one of that offering, the one out of the Barcelona cows, a really impressive little calf, built super correct. She's got the extra hair, being out of the Bruiser. That thing is small, built a little skinny, but that thing is just built tremendously. Got a great back leg in her. You know, that one just needs a little time. And then those other two are, just like Neal said, those two are big-time breeding females. Neal, remind me of that last one's.
The one out of Sadie?
Yes. That's an exciting female that I think we were talking yesterday that come around this next summer and into the fall has a tremendous possibility of being one of the top females in the nation in the percentage red show. I mean, if you're wanting to compete on a national level, that one's the one I would grab a hold of.
And that's the lot 13 you're talking?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Kent?
Yeah, 3 outstanding heifers. The lot 11, the little yellow heifer, I really like. I think down the road she could be really tough to get around. Having the genetics she has, I think she's really going to come on and be one to be very competitive down the road. Really like her a lot. Lot 12, she kept catching my eye. I think I asked Neal about 5 times which one's that one. And she was just a really standout, I thought, in the pen and really puts it all together. She's going to be awfully good. I guess I didn't realize she was mid-May. That's going to be an awfully good heifer. Lot 13, the Sadie, she is stout. I mean, just really powerful throughout. Sound, that's going to be a good one. I'm telling you, she's really nice.
Mm-hmm. Good. So going to make another run at that percentage Red Angus deal, huh, Neal?
We're going to try.
Well, it sounds like you got 3 of them to roll right with it. So good luck on that deal. So we go to lot 14. We go to an Angus female.
Yeah, this thing's really good. I'm going to let Jared tell you about this one. This one comes from those guys that are friends from up north there in Newkirk. That's a good natural law daughter. The only Angus we've got in the sale, and she's a good one.
Okay.
Well, this natural law daughter originated, I guess, when Jim was talking to Mike Marlowe of what he needed to breed some more production cows out of. And she goes back to the 301, which is a daughter of the Empress 6211, which is a pretty well-known cow around this part of the country. Came out of the OSU program. The 301 is a hot rod daughter out of that Midland cow, Empress. We bred for a production cow, and we got a production cow, but one that has tremendous look. She's long spine, deep sided, and can just flat travel, and thought we needed to offer something. A lot of the Angus cows get used to make balancers up there at the ranch, but this one was so good we thought we needed to offer to just show everybody the quality genetics of not only the Angus cattle there, but what's going into the balancer program as well.
Right. That sounds like a good way to get the word out on her. Kent, did you get to see her?
Yeah, sure did. She's super complete and really like this female. I guess I know probably as much about natural law and probably put Mike Marlowe on this bull to get him in his lineup. I showed the natural law in 2018 in Canada, and she was supreme champion over all breeds at the Agribition. Mm-hmm. And 2 years before that, I showed another natural law that was champion Angus up there, and she ended up being world champion. So the natural laws, they work in the show ring, and they go out and they make tremendous females. I think that 2019 Brookings Angus had another natural law that was supreme champion over all breeds. So they are outstanding females, and easily, in my mind, the best females out of Canada.
Mm-hmm. That sounds awesome. Yeah, I'm going to have to put natural law on my short list, it sounds like.
Yeah, if you want females, that's the way to go.
Yeah. Move into the purebred Simmentals here. We got lot 15.
Yeah, we got 3 really good purebred semis and 3 really good percentage semis. This youngest heifer, just a little powerhouse, just beautiful fronted, big, huge bellied, sound. Just a really nice heifer. The 2 that I'm most excited about are these 2 Remedy daughters. They're almost identical. One of them may have a tick more bone, and the other one may have a tick more body to them right now. Mm-hmm. I think in the end, I think they're just going to be silhouettes of each other. I'm telling you, there's 3 big-time purebred semis right here, as good as I've seen anywhere in the country here lately. We were blessed to have our friends, the Hartmans, let us go in there and pick these things out and bring them home. We went into a pasture that had, Kent, what was there in there? Probably 80 heifers, 75, yep. 80 head?
Yeah, about 70 or 80, yep.
Yep, and this is what we come out of there with, and I think we did a good job. These things are really, really good, and I'll tell you, these things, they haven't been pampered. We've been pampering them since we got them here, but when they come out of the pasture over there at Hartman's, those things, they were out there with their mothers on grass, no creep feed, and they've come here to Oklahoma and really responded, and I'm really excited about the future of these 3 females. They're really, really good.
Mm-hmm. Jared, any input on these 3?
Well, just to reiterate on what Neal said, we went and looked at those, went up to their sale they had in the summer gala, and we went through that pasture, and Dalton pinned those cattle, and we got to go through all of those. And out of that replacement set, these are the top females out of the replacement group there. So just honored to be able to offer these females.
Mm-hmm. Kent, you were on that trip, sounds like.
You bet. Yep. I was up there too, looking around at Hartman's, and that was an outstanding group of females, and Neal and Jared sure got the top end out of there. I like all 3 of these purebred heifers, and real excited about the Remedy females. As far as I know, these will be the first Remedies for sale at auction. Mm-hmm. And he was the champion bull in Oklahoma City. a real popular champion bull in Oklahoma City this past year.
Mm-hmm.
And these are the first heifers to be sold, as far as I know, at auction or in a sale. So that's pretty exciting to me to be able to offer them.
Right. Yeah. So you go into Hartman's and you pick the ones you want out of those and bring those down. And man, you just got to be happy with the way that went. So Neal, maybe you are an all right guy, you know.
keep telling me that. My wife's sitting right here. She's listening to all this. Oh, by God, they like me.
Well, I'll have to tell her all the sweet things that you talked about her down there in Tennessee when we're done. So she'll like you then, too.
Awesome.
Turkey Creek, they brought in a couple here, the lot 18 and 19.
Yeah, two really good heifers. This lot 18, these guys haven't got to see them yet. They'll be here probably tomorrow or the next day. But I'm telling you, this lot 18 is a red one, and I'd like to put her in this barn right here. This thing is just beautifully made. She's an executive order out of a Circle M Farms cow. Just a tremendous female. The lot 19 black heifer, I really like this heifer. She's got all the pieces. A little green right now, but super sound, nice big belly, beautiful neck. Somebody's going to be very, very proud of that one on down the road. I think that, especially that lot 18, I just love that one. Now this lot 20 that we got from Dalton and Mike, I know I haven't seen very many like this one. When you start putting huge bellies and big legs and big feet and sound and a tremendous amount of stoutness, they just don't come out just good necked. This thing looks like a skinny one when you're looking at her from the side. She looks like a skinny one because of her neck. She has absolutely no chest, just freak neck, and I mean huge belly and insanely powerful when you get in behind her. Perfectly sound. I just never seen one put together like this and have this kind of front end. This thing's a freak.
Mm-hmm. Jared, do you agree with him?
Oh, completely. When we pulled in the pasture, that happened to be the cow-calf pair standing there, and I said that one's on the list, and I haven't changed my mind at all. She's won every 5 or 6 years, you'll see. And my girlfriend, Bailey Wesner, was down last weekend, and she saw her, and I had told her about her on the phone, and she was blown away. She doesn't want to look at her anymore because she knows she'll want to buy her because this thing is good. And obviously she was raised around in the semi-breed and showed some really good ones, and she thinks this one is top-notch.
Mm-hmm. So she's wanting to bring her back to Indiana, huh?
Yes, yeah, she wants to bring him to Indiana for sure.
Kent, what's your thoughts on her?
I thought she was sure a standout. I mean, she's awesome, I think. The Rebels have been some of the top sellers up at Hartman's sales, and this heifer just has all the qualities of those top-selling heifers up there that bring 50 to 100,000. I mean, she's got all the parts, and what I really liked is, like Neal said, how powerful she is. But what I like the most about her is how she travels. She gets out and moves and just has a striking pose to her, and I really like this female a lot.
Okay. We got a balancer female here in the lot 21.
Yeah, I'll just say something brief about both these heifers, and I'll let Jared finish up. This red heifer that Dobson brings us, beautifully designed heifer, really getting better every day, really sound. And these guys, when they bring you a Gelby or a balancer, you need to stand up and look because they're getting it done. And then the Limflex female that Colby and his family are putting in here out of their Great Divide bull, this is a really nice individual as well. Just two really nice heifers, something a little different for somebody to get into. Two really nice heifers. What do you think, Jared?
Working with Dobsons on these balancer females, you kind of step in a hole, being a minor breed every once in a while, but had a lot of success, and this one fits the pattern of the heifer that we just won Junior National. She was a cow-calf pair there, but that heifer went on. She was the first Gelby I know of to be supreme, bred and owned at OYE, won Kansas City, and this one's designed just like that one. She hadn't been on feed as long as some of these others, but she's got all the building blocks for somebody to take home, and I think this breed's on a growing pattern, and we're seeing a lot more interest in them, and I think for a starting family, this is one that you can go out and have some success with.
Well, what about the lot 22 Limflex?
Colby sent me some videos of that one. I think that one's just real broody type. I haven't seen her in person. We'll get some eyes laid on her when she gets here. But great divide. I'd fit that bull a couple times and super complete bull. I think this one's going to be a big broody female and have plenty of look to her from the video I've seen.
Lot 23, we go into some steers that we've got in here.
This is a couple of steers. One of them Robert raised, one of them we raised out of actually the lot 24 be a maternal sib to the heifer the 1% deal at Junior Nationals. But with Junior Nationals going to be right here in Oklahoma this summer, we wanted to have a really good Red Angus steer show, and we wanted to put some steers in this sale so somebody could come show them here at Junior Nationals, and then they'll make some really good breed steers on down the road. But two steers that, probably weren't going to be big enough for a bull, but they got the look and the stoutness and the structural integrity that we felt like they'd make a kid a nice project to show a steer. So, and to be able to show them at Junior Nationals right here in our home state. So that's why they're in here.
Right. Jared, any thought on the steers?
This yellow one, as Neal said, is out of the Jackie cow. This one, tremendous look. He's one that I don't think is just a Junior National steer. He can go out and compete. Definitely go to a state fair geared for that. Anywhere from probably any of the state fairs, but could even go around to possibly Kansas City. And he's built for it. Sound super stout. I mean, you can't build one with as much structural integrity as this one and have that amount of mass to him. This guy's good, and he's not the hairiest one right yet, but I know from his sisters and his mother and everything, this one's going to have some hair to him and give you that show steer look also.
All right. And then after the steers, you guys went ahead and threw some bulls in this fall sale, and so why don't we start in the lot 25? He's an Eskimo Joe.
Now, some of these are a little younger. We've got them cataloged now. We're going to fertility check them and make sure they're good to go. But a really nice set of bulls, 3 purebred reds. One is an Eskimo Joe that would go back to the Sitta cow on the bottom side. The lot 26 is my kid's bull, an Eskimo Joe out of a cow that's just done a really good job. I can't remember what she's out of, but she's done a really good job for the kids. Probably the best bull would be lot 27. He goes back to the Mr. Right Kind bull that we bought from Newly there at Chain Ranch, and then out of a cow that we actually paid $30,000 for out of Top Line sale. That thing's real good, but this is just a nice solid set of bulls. The lot 27 bull is probably a good breeding piece for a purebred Red Angus breeder or something to go on some Charolais cows, and then the other 2 red bulls are just going to make some good, stout, big, soggy bulls to go on a set of commercial cows. But 3 really good bulls. And then Simmental bull, lot 28, will be the last lot in the sale. Now, he's really young. I don't know if he's going to be able to pass the fertility check yet. This is a really good one. He's a 3/4 bull, Quantum Leap out of D11, which the Anderson family from Purcell, Oklahoma, would have won a division at the Cattlemen's Congress with a full sister to this bull. But just a really nice 3/4 Quantum Leap son, good looking, powerful, just young. But like I said, we're going to put him in here and fertility check all these things. One that pass and that are ready to go do some breeding, we'll leave them in there. And if they, for some reason, don't pass it because of their age, then we'll pull them out and we'll offer them again later.
Okay. Is it one of those things where if we buy one of those bulls, we just leave him there, make sure he passes, or are you going to try to have them done before the sale ends?
We're going to check them before the sale.
Okay.
If they're close to passing,
right.
Which kind of tends to happen with these young bulls, and the vet's just not ready to sign off on them, then we'll sell them with that stipulation that we'll keep them here until they pass it, and then you can pay us and come get them.
Okay. Well, that sounds good. Jared, any thought on the bulls?
I just think these are a good set of bulls. I've worked with Red Angus bulls, and these things are stout and powerful as any set that I've been around. And I just think if you're looking for a good breeding bull, there's 3 really nice bulls here. There's one that has a little bit of extra, and then the Simmental bull, I touched on him. Don't let age keep you from buying that one because he's bred good and he looks good. He'll pass the semen check here soon enough, and that could be a real good buy for somebody.
All right. Kent McCune?
Yeah, I got just a quick look at the Red Angus bulls over the fence, and looked awful good to me. Just three just solid bulls that look like they'll go out and do you a good job. Got some body, really got some bone to them, got some hip, just very complete. Like I said, the 27 was probably my pick of the group, and pretty exceptional bull there. But just three solid bulls that going to make some nice herd sires.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And that wraps up the 28 live lots that we've got in the sale. And who's going to fight to talk about this semen lot that we have in here? I know we got two guys here that are awfully excited about this bull that we're going to talk about, that they're going to offer a couple lots of units of semen here. So, Neal, why don't you go ahead and introduce him?
Well, Robert raised this bull. I think I touched on it a little bit earlier. Kent would have found this bull's mother up in Canada at Blair's, and then it's kind of how Robert and I got introduced to each other. Robert got that thing bought through Kent, and we brought her in here to our facility and helped them get that thing shown. She'd have been reserve at Tulsa and, won some other state fairs and stuff. And then Robert bred her to Cujo and came out with this bull, and we sold our first calves out of him in our May sale. And I've never experienced anything like it. I'll say this, I don't think the breed realizes that this is the next one. Because we're the only ones that's had anything out of him. He's over here at REI getting collected right now. We jumped him once the other day and got 300 something straws.
Oh, wow.
They're going to jump him a couple more times before the sale, but we're going to offer these 5 lots of 5 units of semen. But he really is. He's the next big deal. We're getting cattle out of him that, like we were talking about that percentage semi from Hartman's. So many of these traits that we try to produce are antagonistic to each other. Usually the freaky necked ones are the skinny, wiener gutted ones, and these Okies are big bodied, they're stout, they're sound, they're big legged, they're good footed, and absolutely freaky fronted. I've just never seen a bull stamp them like he does. His mother, she was nice fronted, but she was no freak. She was a ridiculous from their back, but these calves out of Okie, they're the next big deal. This will be the first semen offered. Like Kent was talking a while ago, the high selling heifer in our sale back in May, she's unbelievable. Dalton was telling me a guy from Canada came in, was starting to help him there, and he couldn't believe she was a Red Angus. Just with the power and the front end. But anyway, I've said enough. I know Kent's got some input here. He's had a lot to do with the mother. He knows where she came from and how she came to be. But we're really excited to be able to offer this to the public. It's never been offered before.
Well, Kent, why don't you start in on him?
Well, I think this is a very exciting opportunity. I was surprised they're offering semen on his bull, because I know Robert is very high on this sire. He's been telling me about him since he was a baby calf. I just haven't got down to see him. But the cow that Okie Power is out of was tremendous female, tremendous bodied, and maybe one of the best udders that we ever produced at Blair's up in Canada. Tremendous that way. And she's gone on and has done Robert a very good job in production. But every time I see him, he's like, you got to come see this bull. He's something else. And he's been saying that for 2 or 3 years. And I know why now, because this is quite a bull. And just looking at his first calves, I can see why he's so excited. Like I say, I think this bull could have quite a future, and if he can do just in a handful of calves what he's shown so far, I think people should take advantage of this opportunity and flush a few cows and take advantage, get the genetics that are going to be at the forefront.
Right, set right in here and buy these that are just now offered, because there's no other semen on the market right now out of Okie Power.
That's right.
We've had absolutely zero problems to this point breeding into heifers. So
okay,
it works on everything.
Okay, so they come small enough and just stick him to whatever you want to.
Yep.
Right. You guys are going to offer 5 lots on him, 5 lots of 5 units?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, and then they can send you a shipper on that, or maybe meet up somewhere here in the next couple months or so when everybody's on the road, things like that.
Yeah, however they want to do it. We'll have some in the tank right here at Shelbourne, or it's real easy to ship it out of REI. They've got plenty of shippers and stuff, and we can ship it there, or you can come by here and get it in person.
Okay, guys, that sounds like a excellent lineup here, and I'm interested in seeing them. And I'd like to even bid on them, but I'm sure that I'll have to go down on a couple here, Neal, and as we'll talk back and forth, and maybe we'll be down to the 7th or 8th choice on these or something. So
hey, that's where I live at these sales. So we've made a living doing it. Buying those 7th or 8th best ones. So
yeah.
I get it.
Yeah, Neal, Allie's going to hold you to, if we get one bought, you got to come out to all these shows and run with us all the time. So
Absolutely, I would enjoy that.
and you guys don't. I can tell from what you guys have done. You guys don't just sell them and well, good luck with them, guys. You guys take care of these guys and get them fit as much as possible and get them taken care of as much as possible, right?
Absolutely. We want the people that invest in our program. Nobody wants to see them have success any more than we do. And we've got a tremendous support group. Kent's always available for advice and help, and Jared, and all these guys' crews, the Griffith family, the Hartman family, the Thompson family, Cummins, Erickson's, Dobson's. I mean, you're going to be able to come in here and buy from a conglomerate of operations that are in it for the long haul, and will do anything to help people that buy from us have success.
Right. And know from experience, you put Neal and Jared on one, and man, they can flat get them put together. So again, just learned so much off of you guys, watching you guys and working with you. And Jared saying, hey, why don't you do a little bit of this and a little bit of that? And so I know I appreciate it. And you guys were just helping out while we were showing one of Joe's. And so just appreciate all the help. Just wherever they need to go and help, they'll do that. So just buy with confidence, and you'll have those animals taken care of. Well, guys, anything else we need to know about this sale? Anything else before we wrap this deal up?
I think we've covered it. You guys got anything to add?
I just think that sale in the spring was great, but looking at these, I really do think it's a deeper set, and we had so many compliments on the cattle then, and I'm just excited for everybody to get a chance to look at these things and come out and view them in person or online, and just appreciate y'all's time, really.
Mm-hmm. Ken, anything else on getting a hold of you and talking with you about these cattle?
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm only 7 or 8 miles away. If you need a second or third option, I can run up to Neal's and take a look and offer my judgment on the cattle or my opinion. And if it gets down towards the end, October 4th, and you need somebody, a last minute opinion, I'd be glad to run up there and take a look at them and let you know what I think if you need to kind of readjust on some of your bidding. So I'd be glad to help you with that. But I think there's a lot of options in this sale of all breeds, especially if you have 2 or 3 kids that you don't want showing against each other. I think this is a great sale to go to have quality of all breeds you can pick from.
Right. And Kent, you've moved a few throughout your years, right?
I moved a few, yep, all over the country. All over North America.
Right. Yep. And just admire what you've done and been able to do in the past and what you'll do here in the future. So, Neal, Jared, Bain, Kent McCune, appreciate you guys' time. Appreciate you getting this thing put together. And I got to be honest, I was a little nervous with having 3 guys on the phone, but I think we got it to work out pretty well here. So we talked about the Revolution, the phone bid off. Again, these guys are in Stillwater, Oklahoma is where all these cattle are. And they're going to start the bidding. Neal's phone starts open on the 24th and ends on October 4th, or tries to end on October 4th, have those first bids in, and they will get you guys taken care of. And Neal and those guys will take care of the phone bids, correct, Neal?
Yes. When the catalog comes out, the list of consultants, you can call any of them, any of the breeders, any of the consultants. They'll help you through it. Get you in, and we'll post a board. Sometimes we do it 2 or 3 times a day. If there's a lot of change, as we go through, but we'll post the big board, and just people can go on our social media, any of our social media accounts, and look and kind of see where those cattle are at as they move through the process.
Right.
We'll keep a running tab on everything.
Okay. And look for that catalog. Everybody's going to be sharing that around on their social media. Also, you can watch the podcast video that we're going to put together. You can see it on Before the Bid Facebook page, also on Before the Bid YouTube channel. And so you can find it on any of those. And we appreciate the time of Neal Thompson, Jared Bain, and Kent McCune. And we want to thank you for listening to another edition of Before the Bid podcast. Thank you for tuning in to this edition of Before the Bid. For more information and to learn more about upcoming podcasts and sales, visit us at beforethebid.podbean.com or Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram pages. For information on being a guest on Before the Bid, please email us at beforethebid@gmail.com or one of our social media pages. Remember, that's beforethebid@gmail.com. Happy sales to you, and we will talk to you next time on Before the Bid.